Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy I for the Nintendo Entertainment System, played on the Wii Virtual Console. Marty, Mouse, Milo, Wibbly, and Fibs are making a return trip to the Castle of Ordeals. They're going to collect that final treasure chest on the third floor that I missed on my first visit. That's why I went with the first. And I purposely left that chest because that chest contains the rat tail, and the rat tail is the proof of courage that Bahamut needs to class change your characters. I don't know why Marty, Wibbly, Fibs, and Milo need a rat tail. They're rats to begin with. I don't know. But the rat tail becomes a common thing in some future Final Fantasies, especially Final Fantasy IV and its sequel, Final Fantasy IV: The After Years. Tails play a big role in those games for collecting special items. So, but in that game, Final Fantasy IV: The After Years, it's not all rat tails. The first big tail in Final Fantasy IV is the rat tail, and then there's a rat tail in Final Fantasy IV: The After Years. But then the other tails are the pink tail, which you get off these slime monsters for the best armor in the game. And in Final Fantasy IV: The After Years, you collect tails from different monsters, usually dragons, and they correspond with the color of the dragon. So like a blue dragon give you a blue tail, green dragon, green tail, and you can trade tails for certain items in the last chapter of the game. So that game's different because it was originally released on mobile phones in Japan, and then eventually made its way over to America as episodic releases on the Wii Virtual Console, and then as a whole game in Final Fantasy IV collections for one of the PlayStation consoles. I don't know if it was like the PSP, which I think was their kind of like their Game Boy, their portable console. But yeah, so I'll eventually get to that game. So, but right now we're just getting extra levels for all our ratty heroes there, and we're hunting for another new monster. It can really only be found in this area around the Castle of Ordeals. So most of the monsters that I still have to find, unfortunately, tend to be of the rarer variety. We're getting down into the 3 out of 64, 1 out of 64 chances to get them. So, yeah, monsters, everything's pretty much based on, you know, the 256, because 256 is like the size of a byte in the game. That's like the like an information block. So common encounters are like 32 out of 256, which is like 1 out of 8, and then they keep like going down. So the most the rarest of all encounters is 1 out of 64, and then above that is 3 out of 64. But yep, so those rare ones, they're going to take a little bit of time. So for some future episodes where it takes forever to find something like a 1 in 64, I will just end up cutting out a lot of the random encounters, other than the ones where I get level ups. But yeah, I record, you know, some of the episodes in advance before I do the commentary on them, so I kind of know a little bit when I get ready to commentary how much I need to cut. So, but here's the new enemy we wanted to kind of get, the Worm. So he's basically a red wyvern. Wyvern is the palette swap that's blue. I think we saw them around Ordeals. But, oh, we took him out. Not too bad. But we still have another monster that we want to encounter around here. So, let's encounter it before we head over to Ordeals. There's a few monsters and ordeals we didn't encounter either, but luckily they can also be encountered later on in the Mirage Tower that we tried to enter last episode, but it was inaccessible. As I said in that episode, we need to get an item from Leafin to enter into the Mirage Tower, because the Mirage Tower was built by the Leafinish people. The people of Leafin. So, we'll learn later on that they're apparently like the really super advanced civilization of this world. So, but here we go, the Saurias. They look like Agamas. So, or iguanas. Iguanas were purple, Agamas were red. Now the Saurians are green. So, let's finish them off, and then we can finally head to the Castle of Ordeals. So, but ouch, yeah, nothing really unique about these guys. If you're just doing a regular playthrough, there's no reason why you'd want to, you know, fill out your bestiary. I don't think there's any reward for it. Well, obviously, even in this game, there is no bestiary, but in some of the future games, like the re-releases of this game, they usually include a bestiary option. You can check out all the monsters. I don't know if any of the Final Fantasy games have like a bonus or something that you get for filling out the bestiary. I know in the one game I played, my friend had a PlayStation 2, and yeah, PlayStation 2, and I played Dragon Quest VIII on it. And in that game, if you fill out the bestiary, you get a ring that prevents all random encounters. So, of course, by the time you probably fill out the bestiary, your encounters are probably at max level, so no reason to get random encounters anymore, unless you want to, like, maybe grind for stat items. In that game, you can get, like, seeds that can raise different stats, so. Alright, as always, we'll make a quick save before we head into this dungeon, and we've already been here before, so should be a pretty cakewalk. But we start off by heading into this throne in the north west corner, and then we get to the maze section. This is what probably makes the castle tough if you don't know the trick to it. Whenever you run into a room where there's a choice of pillars, you always take the bottom pillar. If you didn't know that, if you take the wrong pillar, you get warped around to somewhere else in the maze on the floor. And of course that creates a lot of backtracking. The more backtracking you do, the more chances you have to run into random encounters, and obviously the more random encounters you run into, the more your resources are being used up, and, you know, potentially causing a game over and a restart. So, but hey, once you know the trick, this dungeon is pretty easy, and which is why it's a good dungeon to, you know, go to once you get the canoe, because you get that heal staff that Phibbs is using, and the Zeus's gauntlet that Milo just used there. So, kept this battle in because it is a trap tile. Yeah, as soon as you enter this room, you're always going to be ambushed by one of those nightmares. I guess you're not really ambushed by them, but it's a guaranteed encounter. Just as there will be a guaranteed encounter to the right of this treasure chest over here that contains the tail. The game doesn't say what type of tail it is, either when you pick it up or right here in the menu. Oh, it stinks, throw it overboard, no do to that. But you learn it's a rat tail when you talk with Bahamut. He says, hey, the rat tail is a proof of courage, is your proof of courage. So, maybe, I don't know if it's a proof of courage more than it's a proof of hoarding. You know, you figure if you were sent on this castle and you're told, hey, find something that proves your courage, you know, you'd probably look for something like expensive or something rare. You know, you see a rat tail, you think, oh, that's just trash, or, a rat unfortunately passed away and was eaten, and whoever ate it just left the tail behind. You know, whoever would pick it up, you know, and just think, oh, this must be the proof of courage, you know. Must have like a hoarder mentality to be like, you know, because why would you pick it up under normal circumstances? So, I don't know, but hey, we got another level out of it, and we got the tail. We will not be doing anything with the tail, but I will show off the class change option. So, but I just will make a save before I class change. That way I can reset the game and continue on with the unclass changed characters. So, I will do class change though when I replay this game using 2 fighters, 2 thieves. And they will be named after some of the rats that followed Marty, Milo, Wibbly, and Fibs. So Marty was in the first rat by himself, and then Milo, Wibbly, and Fibs was the next group. And then they were followed by Cosmo, Augie, and Bean. And they will be the heroes for Dragon Warrior 4, 5, and 6. Bean, Cosmo for 4. Cosmo for 4. Pulling out my list here. Bean for Dragon Warrior 5, and Augie for Dragon Warrior 6. So Augie was very dreamy. He had like this really curly fur. And Dragon Warrior 6 deals a lot with dreams. So, that was fitting. Speaking of dreams, our heroes had a dream that night when they pitched that little cabin out there. So right here I'm just showing off the sprites. We pretty much saw, we've mainly been seeing Marty's sprite, the Red Wizard sprite. Occasionally we'll see Milo's sprite, because if something happens to Marty, like he's poisoned, pushed to the back row, then Milo gets pushed to the front. But yeah, we'll see all their sprites, and then I'll show off what their sprites look like when they class change. And there's gonna be a big change in Milo's there. The tale of a rat proves your courage. I shall give you the honor due true warriors. Yeah, I guess all that our characters had to do was just like, you know, lift up their capes or whatever and show their tails. But yeah, you can see the black wizard loses his hat, that little straw hat. His sprite changes a lot. Marty's doesn't change too much. They just look more grown up. Fibs, he looks like one of the Leafinish people in the robes, but he loses his hood, and Fibs is a hooded rat. We can't have that happening. And then the other two, Marty doesn't look too different, and Wibbly just looks like much more buffer. So he's more buff. Wibbly hit the gym, did his ninja moves. So let's finally see what Wibbly looks like here, what his sprite looks like, and we can see what their battle sprite looks like. Wibbly looks like he's put on some mass. He was drinking the protein shakes, eating the chicken and tuna. But that was all just a dream. Yep, so maybe they had something bad to eat before they went to bed. They had bad snacks. Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. Might have been just one of those, what they call old wives' tales. But if you eat something bad that upsets your stomach, it'll give you nightmares. So that's what my mom used to tell me, before I went to bed sometimes. He'd be like, you can't eat anything now, you'll get nightmares. So I think it was maybe more of a thing just to keep me from eating before I went to bed. So maybe she didn't want me to gain weight. They say that it's not good to eat before you go to bed. It lays on your stomach. But, speaking of bad things, we're gonna learn there's some bad things going on in this town. My legs are beautiful. It's so nice to have legs. Huh, that's weird. Why would you say that? We'll learn later. Until 200 years ago, the mermaids lived in the shrine, and then, in fire and smoke, it sank. The mermaids. Maybe that lady was a former mermaid. Have you found Oxyale? No, we know a little bit about it. Underhill, the caravan master, had something strange for sale. Avast ye landlubber, stay out of me way. Cope says he saw a shining object fall. Not to find Cope. Wonder how he's coping with seeing a falling object. Terrible pun. Terrible. Yeah, these are all tombs. This town used to be prosperous 200 years ago. Yep, so terrible things happened to this town. 200 years ago, that's when we were told that the fiend of water and fiend of air teamed up. You have legs. Maybe that's another mermaid. Former mermaid. Saber, useless spell. Blind, also useless. Blind, we know that gives the dark status, and dark is bugged in this game, doesn't work. And Saber is like Temper, it raises the attack power a little bit more, but it only works on the caster. My father runs the caravan. He's having a closer sail near the oasis in the western desert. So yeah, the Black Wizard will be the only one casting him on himself, and Black Wizards ain't known for their attack power. That guy said he saw Bahamut, but to be honored as a true hero, he needs to test his courage. Well, we tested our courage. I made a submarine to go save the mermaids, but to go deep enough it requires oxyale. Beep beep. My name is Cope. I saw it north, near the waterfall. Believe me, I think it was a robot. Looks like we'll have to go investigate the waterfall to the north. Later. Until 200 years ago, the power of water brought us good fortune. But now we have a destination to go to. We also have another one. I apparently got to go to that caravan to the west. Closeout sale. I wonder what they may be selling. Maybe it's a fairy. We learned in Gaia there that the fairy was captured. My brother Dr. Un has studied Leafnish, the language of the Sky Warriors. Fables say that when the shrine shrank, many treasure were lost. Also a cryptic stone slab. Yeah, we learned in Gaia that there was a fairy who lived in the spring. Fairies can draw oxyale from the spring, but the pirate captured the fairy, bottled her up, and then sold her. Maybe sold her to the caravan. Well, we have a lead to go on now. Caravan is selling something unique, and it's over in the western desert. And also something unique, a robot. Huh. I wonder if I was gonna say, how do people know what robots are? This is pretty much a medieval type game, but we'll learn that the Leafnish people had a very advanced culture, so they probably wrote books and stuff, and of course then that begs to differ. If the Leafnish wrote books and no one speaks Leafnish, how would people know about it? I don't know. We'll find that, maybe the answer to that, and see what these clues lead to in the next episode. Take care, have a good day. Bye.